Okay, let me give you a tour of the JSConf 2017 performance tool. What you can see here is the interface that allows you to edit the pad that you can see here. So for each button on the pad, you can define if it's an audio sample, audio video sample, the way it behaves. If you want to loop it, you can set the volume, and you can define which sample you want to play when pressing this button. Adding samples is very simple. You can just drag and drop WAV files, MP3s, whatever you want into the project, and they will be added to the files list. I already loaded in some basic jazz files, and I cannot trigger the samples from within the Atom application, but I can do all of that from the launchpad that I connected here. So let me show you what this sounds like right now. So let me play just the first sample. So what you might have seen is when the first sample is set to schedulable. So that means it will be scheduled to the beat perfectly, so that you don't have to rely on your hands scheduling everything in perfect timing. So, and when you start it, it's set to schedulable, and then when the next bar hits, it will actually play. So let me just play that again, and starting. There are actually two different colors that indicate the current state of the clip. You can, of course, play several clips at the same time. Let me just add another one. And we got a basic loop. So right now we scheduled an entire row manually, but what you can also do is you can schedule an entire row by pressing the button on the side. Let me just do that with this. And then all the clips that you had before are switched to the ones in the next row. And the same works for disabling them. You can just use the row button. There's another type of clips that you can set, and that is a single clip. Those you can, for example, use to play drums live. So you can set up an entire drum set on the launchpad itself, and then you can just have one-shot notes where you can like freestyle on them. So this is a very simple setup right now. Let me actually show you the setup for the JSConf. The People Got Mad one, that is. And here you can see we have a setup of actually 3 pads. You can see it's 3 pads on the pad itself as well by looking at the numbers on top of the pad. We are also using video notes in here. So for example, this is an audio and video note. That means we play this video file with this audio sample together. And the way you can see what's actually playing in the video file is you have to press the tab button, and then you switch into live mode. And let me just play the first row of the JS performance. And
hello. Hello.
So usually I would just put the entire app in full screen mode and then project that onto the performance display, and off we go. And you can also change parameters of the video with another launch controller. And yeah, let me just give you a little tour on how to perform the actual performance from this here. Let me start again with the first one.
Hello. Hello.
We all okay?
Yes? No? No? Okay.
I can just feel the excitement. Yeah.
I'll return to
JavaScript. What are you?
I'll return to
JavaScript. What are you?
Why do you write modular code? Well, people got mad when I put it all in one file. Why do you write modular code? Well, people got mad when I put it all in one file.
People got mad.
JavaScript.
People got mad.
JavaScript.
People got mad.
JavaScript.
People got mad.
JavaScript.
So this might all sound very familiar for you, and so you could see that we did a lot of work to prepare the performance by only playing the rows, so that we can minimize the amount of error that can happen during the performance, the human error, of course. And right now we can only see the first configuration pad, but by pressing the pad button, you can actually switch to another configuration and play the nodes that are available there. And so let me just play the switch from the first pad to the second one.
So I'm going to say things which are going to be shocking and hurtful, which are not directed at you at all, okay?
Whoops, that was a mistake. Let me do that again.
So I'm going to say
Play the
things
last
which are
one
going to
on
be
this
shocking and hurtful, which are not directed at you at all, okay? So I'm going to say things which are going to be shocking and hurtful,
Missed the
which are not
do that.
directed at you at
then play the
all,
next one.
okay? JavaScript is a hot mess. All they can do is
And
add more
on the
crap on
next
top of it,
pad.
and they're busy doing that for you.
Now the problem with, as everybody knows, right, with JSON, is that when you get a huge payload from the server, what is in there? What is in there? I don't know.
JavaScript.
So let me just play the transition from the second pad to the third pad for you, because I found it much more interesting than from the first pad to the second pad.
JavaScript, because of that little bit of goodness, has unexpectedly become the world's most popular functional programming language.
Functions are king. Functions are king. You want to do everything with function. Functional programming is probably the way to go.
I'll return to
People got mad.
JavaScript.
People got mad.
JavaScript.
People got
This
mad.
transition I find much more interesting because it actually requires you to be fast and on time to press the buttons, and it was the one that we were most afraid of for the performance. So yeah, that's the run through of the video. I hope you enjoyed, and see you next time.